because we went past the stadium.
We got a ride here, and we learned that you can't pay with Venmo on the bridge.
No, you cannot.
Keenum's going to go deep, and he's got a man, McLaurin, who makes the catch in open field, and he's gone! A bomb to the rookie, Terry McLaurin, all the way for 70. 3rd down and 4. Keenum stands in, firing, McLaurin battling, and McLaurin can't hold on. No, yes he does, it's a catch. What an effort by the rookie McLaurin. Used to play playoff high school games in Irving back in the day. Here's Keenum, pressure, steps up, fires. There's the rookie McLaurin who makes a catch in traffic, down to the 35.
Deben anotar los Redskins antes de la pausa de los 2 minutos para que ese tiempo fuera les favorezca la siguiente posición de los Cowboys. Y lo hacen. Ahí está Terry McLaurin, el novato, en semanas consecutivas, perforando la zona pintada.
The New York Giants did with Eli Manning and Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones was amazing yesterday.
Oh, he played well in Tampa.
He was amazing. 2nd and 3. And stretching out to the outside is McLaurin there, making that diving effort.
Exactly.
All 4 of the brothers who played their college ball at Virginia Tech. 2nd and 6 to the end zone. And looking for the rookie and finding him. Terry McLaurin. 15-yard touchdown pass from Case Keenum.
What an unbelievable route by McLaurin here. This is so good.
Keenum with time, throwing wide open, touchdown McLaurin, his 2nd of the game. It's gotten loud here as they root for the Dolphins. Keenum from deep in his own end zone, he throws, and McLaurin on the catch.
You got to stay in your tracks and wait till he comes across the ball before you move.
Haskins fires. It is McLaurin who goes out, makes the catch out at the 45-yard line.
And look, he has a lot of talent. He's got this. He's got great arm talent.
Firing downfield, and McLaurin makes the catch.
Holy cow, what a catch.
9 straight home losses, 1 shy of a franchise record. 2nd down and 8 as Haskins fires, and McLaurin this time makes the catch for a Redskins 1st down. Haskins on 3rd down. He throws, and it's caught by Terry McLaurin at the Detroit 21-yard line. Haskins fires, end zone, what a catch by Terry McLaurin for a Redskins touchdown.
You'll be able to correct me on that.
Yeah, Shannon, of course, is completely dialed in, and here is McLaurin. He's off to the races, inside the 20, and a touchdown for Terry McLaurin, the former Buckeye.
And I'll tell you why the Redskins are doing that.
Play action, good protection. And Haskins delivers on the money to his former running mate at Ohio State, Terry McLaurin. And Keenum to McLaurin, who hangs on.
Wow.
And that is a catch. Took a big hit by Beal. And McLaurin still down on the far sideline.
Back to the 20-yard line. Sims, the receiver in motion. Quick pass is caught at the 25 by McLaurin. And a good run after the catch by Terry McLaurin. The 49ers and Giants have a great history of postseason battles. Haskins on 1st down has McLaurin open, and he gets away from 2 defenders. And McLaurin winds up. Quick pass, caught, 1st down and more. Terry McLaurin, touchdown, and Washington. And still trailing, but they have perked up without question here in this 3rd quarter.
He's outside now, but they'll do that throughout the game.
On 3rd down and 10. Haskins, short, McLaurin with running room up the sideline. McLaurin trying to put a little move on his fellow Ohio State Buckeye Denzel Ward. And now re-signed with Washington. 1st and 10. Haskins looking deep for McLaurin. Has a step, and McLaurin with the catch. Good looking play there by Washington. A gain of 39.
Down with the throw. Lofting one. He's got a man. It's McLaurin in stride. Touchdown Washington. There's a flag down back around the 30-yard line. If it stands, it's a 52-yarder. So at 80,
Peyton Barber in the backfield, 3rd and 1 off the fake to Barber. Allen under pressure. He throws. It's Terry McLaurin who comes up with it, makes the catch, inbounds for a Washington first down. From the 32. Smith with time on first down. The pass is caught, and then McLaurin breaks free. Terry McLaurin will take it all the way for a Washington touchdown, 68 yards.
Wow. Wow, what a pass.
Numbers there for Alex Smith, a perfect 4 for 4 so far. Barber remains in the game, the inside handoff to McLaurin. McLaurin with room, first down and more, trying to get to the 20, gets to the 22-yard line. Over the middle on 2nd and 4, here's McLaurin inside the 15. And I think that's a great point. When you talk about more work with the ones, Detroit brings 4. Smith up the left side. Terry McLaurin makes the catch. First down, Washington.
And how far they have fallen since. Just hard to believe how far he has come to get back to this point. Smith taking a chance up the field. It's caught right up the seam. And that is Terry McLaurin. What a catch.
By Gibson. So to me, that's what's going to jumpstart this offense.
Smith throwing a dart over the middle. McLaurin so dangerous in open space inside Bengals territory, close to the 35-yard line.
Here's Thomas looking to throw, and he does to McLaurin. The catch is made, and it's good. He got both feet down. Xavier Wood back there, and a good throw by Logan Thomas for 28 yards. Trying to get a free 5 yards. They don't. This pass is caught for a gain of 9.
Don't let them change in and out.
Bunch formation to the right. 3rd down and 6. As Haskins airs it out, looking for McLaurin, who made the adjustment and made the catch in Seattle territory for a Washington first down with Amadi defending.
4-man rush. Pass to the corner of the end zone, and it is hauled in by McLaurin for the touchdown. So McLaurin missing last week with a high ankle sprain. He comes back having a great season, over 1,000 receiving yards. They go 91 yards in 15 plays.
And the offensive line needs to duplicate what it did. They kept him clean on that drive. Here we go from the 25. Heineke flings it in the middle. Caught a flag in the middle of the field. Gain of 17 to McLaurin. Brought down by Jamel Dean.
And now in motion. Heineke pump fakes. Puts some air under it. McLaurin wide open. And it is caught. Was he in bounds? Yes, he was. A miraculous catch by McLaurin.
Con 4 receptores, el engaño con Gibson, el pase, tiene al hombre, pase completo, afuerita de la yarda 10, aparece otra vez McLaurin.
5 first downs on this drive. Heineke end zone, McLaurin touchdown.
He's going to have to play big here, trailing 14-0. Plenty of time, but on the move. Throws, caught at the 35 by Terry McLaurin.
And the Giants should have beaten Washington in week 2.
Giants tied with Atlanta at the moment. Catch made. And moving downfield, McLaurin, who's got speed. Inside the 10, it'll be 1st and goal for Washington.
Switched last year from the outside corner to the slot corner. Big part of that Falcons defense. 2nd and 11. Heineke over the middle to McLaurin, rips it away, and a first down at the 35-yard line. 3rd down and 8. Heineke looking for it all. McLaurin in the end zone. He's got it. It's a touchdown. 33 yards. Heineke to McLaurin. And Washington's on the board.
Just continue to let the offense work. Get an easy completion.
Heineke on 1st down. To the air to McLaurin. A 1st down to the 45. A pickup of 20. Heineke off play action. There's Fowler in the backfield. Heineke gets away, lobs it in the end zone, and it's caught! It's a touchdown! McLaurin back on the field! And out of the scramble situation, he ends up with 6.
Run-heavy drive. This will be the 8th play. Heineke faking. More play action. Firing and finds his man. It's McLaurin. A picture-perfect pass by Heineke. It's a pickup of 19.
Nickel package here for Kansas City. Heineke out of the pocket. Tosses to the sideline. And it is caught. 1st down, Terry McLaurin.
We saw it work well there.
Everybody packed in tight here for 1st down. Jalen Smith on the blitz, almost gets home. Heineke lets it fly. McLaurin, end zone, touchdown! Washington strikes right back. A 40-yard throw from Heineke to McLaurin. Taylor Heineke's played a nice bounce-back game after shrugging against Kansas City. They look to throw it here. Scans the field. Finds McLaurin, who steps out of the tackle. And Terry McLaurin with a big gain inside the 30. Stays inbounds down to the 20.
Antonio Gibson, 8 carries. They fake it to him. Here's McLaurin. Around the edge, Terry McLaurin with a 1st down. So back-to-back runs, picking up the 1st down and marching it that time, a gain of 12.
He has been very sharp. Heineke down the middle for McLaurin. Makes the catch near the 40-yard line in front of Jamel Dean. He'll pick up 21 yards to the 39. Slings it out for McLaurin with blockers in front. And a 1st down out across the 45-yard line.
With a 1st down and 10. Heineke in the shotgun. Panthers show pressure. It's picked up, and Heineke with time floating it for McLaurin, and a fingertip grab up the sideline and into Carolina territory. Dante Jackson on the chase. 3rd and 9. Heineke airing it deep for McLaurin down the left sideline. What an adjustment! Makes the leaping grab, and a 1st down right in front of Dante Jackson. 1st down at the 12. Heineke with time over the middle into the end zone. Caught! McLaurin's got the touchdown! 9 seconds to go in the half, and Heineke finds McLaurin for 6.
So Cam Newton saw him, last week and gave him the nickname Scarface.
Yeah, Cam loves giving out nicknames. Here's McLaurin. Scary Terry, speaking of nicknames.
The 47 before the ball came out, recovered by Ioannidis, so it's 1st down Washington at the 47. And Garrett Gilbert taking a deep shot. Got a man open, jump ball caught. McLaurin inside the 10. 1st and goal Washington.
The opportunities that are being granted.
3rd and 12, look out. Allen will throw on the run and throws into traffic, and that's going to be hauled into the 44-yard line by Terry McLaurin.
Throughout the course of his career here in year 2.
Looking on as Jared Patterson comes in. Heineke on the move. He loves to throw on the run and delivers. McLaurin a juggling catch down inside the 25 of the Giants. With their head coach and their quarterback, we saw Zach Wilson last week go toe-to-toe with Brady and the Patriots. McLaurin runs underneath that one down to the 30 of the Giants. And an excellent throw from Taylor Heineke. 27-yard gain, only the 2nd catch for Thomas. Again, an injury-plagued season last year. He only got into 6 games. Wentz, deep drop pressure on, gets rid of it. Sideline throw. He's got Terry McLaurin, and that's a
Washington Commander touchdown. 49 yards.
First Lions rookie with 3 sacks in a game. Wentz on first down. McLaurin, his second catch. Scored a touchdown on their opening drive here in the second half. On 1st and 10 from the 16, Wentz fires, looking for McLaurin, who made the adjustment and makes the catch.
And then regain a little bit of offensive momentum, a little bit of energy.
Yeah, KP told us about that adjustment, and sure enough, it's playing out. Now a deep ball for Terry McLaurin. He's got it. Big play for the first time today as C.J. Gardner-Johnson was in coverage. I don't think that can be understated how important he's been at center. Early season knee injury after he had a midseason leg injury last year. Nice throw by Wentz for McLaurin in front of McPherson. First down.
Ability to last the entire game.
2nd down and 5. Wentz over the middle, and that pass is caught by McLaurin. Breaking tackles. First down and still going. Finally, Jeffrey Simmons makes the play after a 25-yard pickup. Wentz to the air on first down. Deep shot down the middle. McLaurin is down there, and it's broken up. Did he hold on? Yes, he did. Somehow, Terry McLaurin holds on to that football. A 34-yard gain.
And figure out where does Terrence Matthews, number 39, go.
2nd down and 10. Quick pass caught by McLaurin. Trying to shake a tackler, and he does. And he gets the first down. Great job after the catch by Terry McLaurin.
From the 17 to the outside. McLaurin. And he picks up about 12.
Heineke sets up, looking for Terry McLaurin against Alexander. It is caught! Touchdown! Commanders take the lead. Play of the game right now. Heineke hit as he throws, launches. It is caught! Terry McLaurin holds on.
Empty backfield here for Taylor Heineke. Making his 2nd start of the season, and there's McLaurin down the sideline. Welcome back to Indianapolis, Terry McLaurin. Played his high school ball 10 miles from here at Cathedral. Clock ticking, down to 40 seconds. Heineke looking. Heineke. They keep the play alive again. He flips it downfield, and McLaurin, the hometown kid, hauls it in at the 1-yard line. What a grab. He ripped it away from Stephon Gilmore.
What this is like, it's out of one of the Hollywood movies, right? Terry McLaurin comes home for the first time to Indianapolis. Taylor Heineke takes the shot.
Washington.
Said, hey.
Set the game clock.
Fake the handoff, good protection. Pass is wide open to McLaurin. And he's forced out of bounds near the 20 by Slay. Airs it out. McLaurin downfield. Hit him in stride, and the catch is made. What a throw and catch.
Heineke wants to throw it. Hit as he does, but right on target to McLaurin. Big gain and a first down, Commanders. Right at the 46-yard line.
Make sure that he's going to confuse that offensive front. He gets everybody up there, hoping that one guy gets open.
Here they come. Heineke able to get rid of it. McLaurin makes the catch, breaks free into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
First and 15. After the penalty, high for McLaurin, brings it in, got a nice block. There goes McLaurin into the secondary gain of 20.
Robinson in the backfield. 1st and 10. Heineke blocked by Bates, going deep. He's got him. McLaurin, what a catch at the 5. Got the ball down at the 6. 2nd down goal. There's a block by Cosme. Great time for the quarterback. Now they shift through to the end zone and caught for the touchdown. McLaurin got it right in front of Hufanga. 3-yard touchdown pass. And that's how Washington responds.
Ron Rivera has used the word spark often when it comes to talking about these quarterbacks. Who can give us the spark? Wentz looking for one downfield, and there's Terry McLaurin. His first long catch of the day, just his second grab of the day.
Back to throw it for the first time. Going over the middle has McLaurin racing in for the end zone and a score. This NFL stuff is easy.
Barring some sudden turnaround here today, that appears the way Dallas came out.
Here's how to throw it. Loading up. Going deep. And he's got a man. It is caught by McLaurin.
Howell slinging it to the end zone. Was it caught? Yes, McLaurin. Touchdown. An amazing catch by one of the stud wide receivers in the sport.
From the 41-yard line, play action, one-on-one, back shoulder throw, and a great catch by Terry McLaurin, going up against Josh Jobe for 14 more. Second and goal. Robinson, left side, got bumped back, lowered the shoulder, lost the ball. Who's got it? And did he break the plane to begin with? McLaurin's back on top of it, and a touchdown is signaled.
Howell hangs in, throws on the run, catch is made. Inside the 25 goes Terry McLaurin. Right on the money.
The team who can establish rhythm here in the fourth is going to come away with the win.
Howell looking deep down the sideline for McLaurin, takes a big hit, and he held on, and there's the flag, too. McKinney hit him. Howell lofting one down the sideline, and it is caught by McLaurin. Nobody touched him, and he walks in. Touchdown, Commanders. Are they going to say he was down?
In that loss to the Giants, although we did have a touchdown run. Howell floating one for the end zone, and catch made. It's a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin.
That is a tough row to hoe.
Pass is caught by McLaurin inside the 45.
That was what Howell scrambled for 24 yards. Out of Commanders' first down. Howell fires downfield. McLaurin made the catch. Another third and long conversion for Washington.
That's dirty. That's dirty. That was a nice route by McLaurin.
Howell on first down, complete. Another first down and more. McLaurin all the way down to the Patriots' 12.
Played the position that kind of way and was smart with the ball. But by the time he finished, he was a game changer. Because people wanted all their quarterbacks to look like him.
Brissett for McLaurin, and he's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Throw it in the perfect spot, 29 yards. He beat Kendrick. 28-13. Brissett sets up in the pocket, zips it to the outside. McLaurin's got it, a diving grab. He's out of bounds inside Rams territory. Under 5 minutes to play. Down 2 scores. Brissett looking for McLaurin. He's got it in stride. And McLaurin is dragged down near the goal line. Touchdown, Commanders. There's a flag on the other side, but this, I believe, is against the Rams.
On 2nd and 10, first down and more. McLaurin breaking a couple of tackles. He's still going. Terry McLaurin chiseling his way through that Jet secondary.
Howell. He's going to take a deep shot. McLaurin gets loose. He's got it against the Amador Lenore. A big gainer for Scary Terry. A 42-yard strike on 3rd and short. 3rd and goal. When they've gotten to the red zone, they've been good this year. Can they cash in here? One-on-one. Back shoulder. McLaurin. Touchdown Washington. In front of Ambry Thomas.
Here's how a little flip. McLaurin gets it. Makes a man miss. Terry McLaurin turns on the burgers. 1st down and more, and he's all the way down inside the 25. Blitz coming. Howell stands in and fires, and it is caught. A dime from Howell, and McLaurin has it.
Rookie quarterback, first-time head coach, and flip it completely in 1 year is unprecedented.
There's McLaurin. Good move, breaks another tackle, still going. McLaurin will have it. He's got the 1,000.
Well, there you go.